Bring the meeting to order of the Evendale Village Council tonight, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk will take the roll.
Mr. Sextro.
Here.
Ms. McDaniel. Here. Mr. Putoff.
Here.
Ms. Smiley-Robertson.
Here.
Mr. Patterson.
Here.
Mr. Burke.
I am here.
Tonight we have a delightful guest with us. The County Commissioner Denise Driehaus has asked for a podium to talk about menu of opportunity. Is that correct?
It's just an update, and thank you for the opportunity, Mayor. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome here anytime.
It's good to be here. I was saying that I avoided the lateral on the way up. It's a mess on 75, man, because I live south of lateral, and 75 is a mess. So I know you all know this, but man, oh man. But glad to be up here in Evendale. I came out in 2017, as some of you might recall, and did what I called my 49 and 49. So I visit all 49 jurisdictions in the county. I tried to do that in 49 days, which did not work out. But I did accomplish it. It just took a little bit longer. But I thought, it's time because we've updated our menu of opportunity. And so I thought I'm going to pop back out to all the jurisdictions. So I'm doing all 49 again, just to remind everyone about the partnerships that are available through the county. So this list of opportunities has been updated and expanded since I was here in 2017 because the county has more resources to offer by way of economic development projects and some of the things that you all are already taking advantage of. So I'll talk about that in a second. I generally focus, and I'm happy to answer questions if I haven't talked about something you'd like to talk about related to the county. But we are doing a lot of work. We have a structurally balanced budget, which I could not have said in 2017, but we do now. So that's good news. We're paying our employees a competitive wage. That's good news. And so, because we need to have good employees, people that stick with us, because our residents are your residents, and your residents are our residents. And so when somebody calls 911, we want somebody that's well-equipped to take that call, taking that call. When we have somebody that needs to go out into a home and make sure a child is safe, whether or not they need to be removed from that home or not, we need quality people doing the work of the county, the courts, the jails, all the things that the county does. So I just want to make sure that you understand we're taking this responsibility very seriously, and so I am here in partnership with you to make sure that everything keeps running on time and we are addressing the needs of the county as they are brought before us. So I generally talk about convention center, I talk about the Bengals, or I talk about the Finley Market Garage and some of the things that we're doing. But I think in this community, I'm going to talk about the gun range because I know it is something that you've been heavily involved with. The mayor and I have been in many, many meetings with many, many others talking about how we're going to get this gun range moved out of this area and put it in a more appropriate location, which is up in Colerain Township. And so we, as I'm sure you know through the mayor, have finished out the financial stack related to the phase 1 of moving the gun range. It was a Herculean lift, I must say. But the state, the feds, the county, and the city of Cincinnati are all in that financial stack. The county was able to participate in the most expansive way of all because we had ARPA dollars. And so we had money available to us to put towards this project. So we are in for $20 million. The whole project is about $32 million. And so you can see the commitment of the county towards this project, but there are multiple benefits to it. One is that Evendale can now use a site and repurpose it for something that creates economic development and fits in with the other things that you're doing in this community. The other benefit, obviously, is to the people of Lincoln Heights and Woodlawn who hear those gunshots all day, day after day, and it's not good for those communities, particularly for the kids that are living near that gun range in those communities. And so we took that very seriously. This gun range has been there for 70 years. People have tried before. I want to think that maybe we had the right combination of partnership and people sitting at the table, all moving in the same direction to try to get this thing moved. The other piece of that, though, if you think about it, is where is it going? Because we still need a gun range for CPD. And so we're putting it up in Colerain Township. The sheriff already has a gun range in Colerain Township. It is a pretty remote area. There's a lot of farmland around it. The people in Colerain actually like the sheriff's deputies having the gun range there because there's a significant police presence in their community related to that gun range and the officers coming and going. So they welcome the opportunity or the conversation related to an expansion. And so we're not just throwing two gun ranges together in that location, but rather creating a regional safety complex where we can have different agencies, whether they're state agencies or federal agencies, come in and, use the gun range, but also we are expanding the indoor space, the building, the facility, so that we can do some regional trainings and have more cooperation amongst all the law enforcement agencies that operate in our community, including Evendale, Colerain, all the folks that are already using some of the ranges to begin with. And so it's going to be a good project. It took quite some time to get the financial stack together, but we're in a really good place. Although, I will tell you, we have not turned any dirt yet. That is because we're waiting for the US EPA to give us a final nod on the environmental study that happened on the land. And so we have contacted Sherrod Brown's office and Greg Landsman's office and asked them to please push EPA. And remember, Sherrod Brown was at the table all along trying to secure some funding from the federal government, which he did. But without that nod from US EPA, we cannot turn dirt. And so we're ready to go. I hope you've seen the plans. That they're very good plans. We've done a lot by way of keeping the sound tamped down from the shooting. The environmental issue that is out in the range right now with some of the pollutants that are caused when you shoot bullets into land, into grass. It can be problematic when it comes to environmental issues for that community. And so we've got these systems, it's high technology systems that captures the bullets, and then we can remove them, and they don't have an environmental impact on the community. So we've done all kinds of things to try to be smarter and more attuned to the community with the technology that's available now that wasn't available 70 years ago, obviously, right? So it's really a win-win for all the communities involved. And I must say that Mayor Finan had a large part to play in this, and I'm very grateful for the partnership that you showed in working with Woodlawn, Lincoln Heights, Evendale, the federal government, the state government. We had to get the state reps in, the senators came in. It was quite the lift, but we got it done, and I'm thrilled that we're moving forward on that. So I will let you know when we're able to turn the dirt, when EPA gives us the go-ahead. And then we will be clearing out, the engineer owns a lot of the property. It's all county property, which is the good news. Didn't have to purchase any land because that would have been an additional cost. But the engineer, he has his spoils. So I don't know if you all know what spoils are, but think about animals that are left on the side of the road, perhaps, or something like that. I mean, it's the nasty stuff. So we're moving that off this property, clearing it, and then making way for an expansion of the gun range. So I'm very excited to give an update on that, particularly in this community, because it speaks to the partnership that we have. And so lastly, then, I'm going to talk about a partnership, because as I move around to each community, there are different things that each community has done by way of partnership with the county, and some are much more robust than others. I'm happy to report you all have had a very robust partnership with the county, and so I'm going to remind, if you don't know it already, about some of those cooperative arrangements that we have. So you all have taken advantage of the Residential Recycling Initiative Program in 22 and in 23. You got a small event grant in 23, and then the big one is the Community Revitalization Grant, which not every community gets, and I'm glad you're applying for these dollars, but it's related to the Aero Hub, and that was to the tune of $290,000. So total, you're over $300,000 when it comes to community partnership over the last couple of years, and so I just wanted to remind you by way of the menu of opportunity and the other things that are available at the county to please continue to apply, because the only way the partnership works and the only way our dollars matter in local communities is when you all partner with us. And so it only works when you do that work. So I don't know who amongst you, who amongst the staff, or I don't know who's sitting here that does that work, but we're very grateful at the county level to have that kind of cooperation. So with that, Mayor, I'm happy to talk about anything else, but did want to focus on the gun range for this particular meeting.
It's interesting. I just had a call today, or yesterday, from a lady in Lincoln Heights who has called me, I think this is the fourth time, complaining about the gun range and how it's driving her nuts. I tried to call her back, but nobody answers the phone. But she doesn't think we're doing anything, and I wanted to explain to her just what the things that you've talked about. The other thing about the gun range that's interesting is we are trying to partner with Lincoln Heights in a JED. It's a new program, but would be created out of Columbus. And we've gotten the bill passed in the Senate. Senator Blessing carried it for us. We can't even get a hearing over in the House. And I've talked to Representative Seitz and people like that, but we're just having the infighting going on between the two. You know how it's
You know that better than anybody else, how that works. Yeah.
There has been exactly 16 bills passed by both houses in this session of the General Assembly, which is terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Agreed.
Terrible.
Well, and remember, Cindy Abrams was the representative that got us the $3 million from the capital budget. So Bill Seitz is also a great advocate, but you might want to put the bug in her ear as well.
They say April 10th the gates may open, but
Oh.
we'll have to see.
Okay.
The other thing is we're working with Alloy quite a bit, and we have some innovative programs, we think, here with Alloy, and they're working with your small business
That's right.
incubators. And we think it'd be great program for both communities and for what we're talking about in there. And we appreciate the county's cooperation and help, and you've been great people to work with.
Yeah,
Great
ditto.
people to work with.
Ditto. Appreciate it.
Anyone else have any questions or comments?
Oh,
Hey, Mayor, if I come to the podium before the commissioner.
easy crowd, I'll wait.
I wanted to thank the commissioner while she's here. This topic just came up at the Hamilton County Association of Chiefs of Police meeting. A number of years ago, the county committed to funding the 911 system here in Hamilton County. And to put that in perspective, we are paying about $20 per 911 call. So that's 2,000 or 3,000 of those a year for us. The county did some budget restructuring and a tax, and they have gotten that down to $5 per call for service. So when you look at a couple thousand 911 calls that Evendale, that generate or that come from Evendale, that's a significant savings, and the county has held true to that, and that's greatly appreciated, just not by us here in Evendale, but through the other chiefs in the county, to the point that it was just a recent topic of discussion. So
great.
thank you. And as far as the range, I've known the chief deputy from the sheriff's department for a very long time, 45 years. And so Hamilton County SWAT, I'm the administrator for Hamilton County SWAT, so it serves every jurisdiction in the county except the city of Cincinnati. The sheriff's department has been great about letting us use a range, and I know that partnership is going to continue forward and probably expand once that range is done. So
That's right.
from a law enforcement standpoint, thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions, comments?
I just wanted to make a
Yes, ma'am.
comment. As a member of council, obviously in this community, and having grown up in Woodlawn on a street where I heard it all the time, I really do appreciate your efforts on that gun range, and I agree with you, the partnership and being able to accomplish that in the respective communities, that really is a plus, because you don't know what it sounds like every day.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. The minutes of the previous meeting have been previously distributed. Are there any additions, corrections, or changes? If not, may I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Patterson?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Minutes are approved. Now we'll go to committee reports, and the first committee report is the Finance Committee. Councilman Burke.
Thank you. Start off with finance side, and Mrs. Karachi spoke in discussing the timing of the paying for the service building and coordinating some of the bonds that we have coming due and making sure that those are timed properly so the money is available when we do start that project. Full financial statements were uploaded to the state of Ohio. We also are going to have a state audit start date is unknown, but we will have a whole new team this year. But I'm confident that Cynthia will be able to handle that and control them. Finances for February were strong, approximately $120,000 over 2023, and year-to-date up approximately $352,000. So all's good there, and she has an ordinance that is going to be passed. Gordon Farm, Heritage Farm, restructuring corporate partnership to have more exposure of events, looking for new corporate sponsors. They're kind of adjusting that whole program, and they've really revitalized that whole thing, and so that should be really strong. Summer day camps are sold out, which is incredible, and Double Knot software is working really well. They're testing out a software, and so far it looks really strong. Partnership with iSpace continues to be very successful, and we are going to be providing the Gorman Farm is going to be providing aftercare programming in connection with iSpace. So that will be new this year. Spending time on strategic planning at the board meetings, and then they're looking for a part-time grant writer, and a suggestion came up the other day about possibly cooperating with another organization to share an individual for grant writing, and seeking also camp coordinator. Recreation Department Shelter House floor renovation will start next week, and it should take about a week, but we're allotting for 2 weeks. Construction constructing a wall around the volleyball courts to help contain a lot of that sand, and that program has that project has started and is well underway. I think all the trenches are dug, waiting for the concrete to be poured. Potential new registration software is being tested with hopes that fall installation. Egg extravaganza is this weekend, and Valentine's Dance was successful. Impact 57 continues to grow. And now on to service engineering. Crews are ready for all the spring cleanup and stuff. Working on, we talked about the sand volleyball courts. And then curb replacement, Park Hills did really well. They did a phenomenal job there. Took 1 week instead of the 2 that they had allotted. And Sam Ashbrock passed ISA. He's a certified arborist, and congratulations to Sam on getting that. So we are one of the few communities that does have their own arborist. Shred Day, please mark your calendars for April 20th. It's 8 o'clock to noon, and it's great benefit for all our village residents. Stantec will start working on the Griffin on 3/12, so you'll see people working up in the Griffin Park area. New planner was installed, right? Was already installed on Reading Road. Got hit by a truck, and so that got replaced in the sprinkler system as well as part of it. Phase 3 of the Recreation Center is still in progress, and then preliminary plans for CAC is being worked out by the architect. That's Culture Arts Building, that's for the elevator. And pricing and rendering for the new service building have been finalized, and some discussions about that will go on next couple of weeks as we try to finalize that. And soon Mr. Jeffers will be evaluating streets for 2024. And just a reminder for those that live on Kingsport, that will start as soon as they are able to start with asphalt production and coordinate that time.
Any questions, comments? Okay, Police and Fire, Councilperson Smith Robinson.
Smiley, but
Smiley Robinson.
Smiley Robinson, okay. Starting first with fire, there's an ordinance on the agenda tonight for the full-time administrative assistance position. The hiring committee waived the interview process because of, it's in effect a reclassification of the position from part-time to full-time. Also, there will be the first reading of an ordinance modifying Chapter 1612 pertaining to the fire code. It's being modified to clean up some language at the request of the state fire marshals. Also incorporate some references to Evendale's new fire marshal position, add a requirement for key lockbox systems at commercial and residential rental properties, and for new construction or a change of use of commercial properties greater than 5,000 square feet, automatic sprinklers will be required to be installed. Food trucks will have to be inspected annually, and all this information, we're going to do it as a first reading, and we're going to send letters to the affected business community and property owners so that they're aware. Our intention would be, barring any feedback that may deter that we would pass it at the next regularly scheduled council meeting. Not specifically covered yesterday in the meeting, but this is a reminder that on Monday, April 8th, will be the solar eclipse, and at 3 p.m. it'll be a total eclipse. So for safety reasons, the use of eyewear that meets safety requirements that are manufactured with ISO 12312-2 expert approved standard is recommended. Okay. Any of these things I reference is going to be posted somewhere. I just want to share that. When purchasing solar eclipse glasses, use a trusted source and ensure glasses contain this ISO standard labeling. You can visit https:////anyway, eclipse.aas.org/I-safety/ISO-certification to ensure your solar eclipse eyewear is compliant.
Got that?
So again, it'll be posted for you to look at that. Just wanted to make sure everyone is aware that you should be using official solar eclipse glasses.
Google it, right?
If I remember correctly, the safest way is take a piece of cardboard, stick a pinhole in it, and hold it up and let it reflect on the sidewalk, and you'll have a complete viewing of it.
My eyesight is bad enough, I'm not risking.
No, but you don't have to look at it. You just look down at the sidewalk and hold the piece of cardboard up.
Okay, so then moving on to police, just wanted to, I'm sure everybody heard about the incident or threats to Walmart in the news. Just want to remind everyone that the suspect was apprehended within 36 hours of making the threat. Okay. The chief, I'm going to ask the chief to come up to speak to a situation that we have relative to a homeless situation in the village.
Thanks, Ms. Smiley Robertson. This relates to a conversation that Mr. Patterson and I had. He came in to see me that related to some concerns from the residents, most specifically about one particular homeless gentleman who's sort of taken up residence here in the Evendale general area that is at times panhandling at businesses and the intersections. I'll speak to that generically, but the broader topic of mental health more specifically. But what we have with that one specific gentleman who has been here in the Evendale area for about 6 or 8 months, we've worked with him. We've worked with Hamilton County's PATH, a homeless advocacy group. We worked with UC Mobile Crisis with their peer counselor group and trying to get him into some rehab. He has an addiction issue that is driving his homelessness and some of his behavior. So that's that individual in particular. And one of the things I think we've noticed over the last few years, as the metropolitan area of Cincinnati keeps expanding further and further, and we get closer to Dayton, that has a net effect of moving Evendale closer to the urban center. And the closer you get to an urban center, the more these challenges that you face in an urban environment, and you're going to have more homeless in general terms. Our focus from this is always about behavior. We'll address those behaviors that present a danger. If they're out in the middle of the street panhandling, we'll address those issues. If they're bothering people at businesses and the businesses want them removed, we'll address those issues. But our primary focus is with any of these persons we come into contact with is connecting them with mental health resources. Hamilton County has a lot of mental health resources available through the county. Just today, coincidentally, UC Mobile Crisis, who is now expanding to a 24/7 operation, 2 of their representatives were out at our roll call today to brief us on what's available to them through their new 24/7 operations. And as I've told you all before, Sergeant Tina McCormick, she's our mental health specialist. She goes to training and meetings 2 or 3 times a month with other law enforcement agencies and social service agencies, with a group that's coordinated through Mental Health America. So when we see these issues, whether it's addiction, whether it's mental health, whether it's homelessness that are occurring in the community, we sort of take a multifaceted approach to it. We enforce laws when it has to do with safety, and when it doesn't have to do with safety, our goal is to get connected or get people connected with resources. So that's sort of our focus when we encounter these problems. And please, if you're aware of any issues that we're not aware of, we'll bring them to our attention and we'll get them addressed.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. Okay, moving on to the building, planning, and zoning area. On Tuesday, March 19th, the Planning Commission is going to hold 3 public hearings to cover the zoning text amendment to the Village of Evendale Mobile Retail Food Establishment Regulations, otherwise known as food trucks. The zoning map amendment to add 12 parcels currently zoned industrial flex 2 and heavy commercial along Spartan Drive as part of our Aero Hub Innovation District Planned Unit Development Zoning District. And the third reason would be a conditional use approval for construction of the new service building at 10660 Reading Road in the Public Facilities Zoning District. So this is a public hearing for everyone is welcome to attend and voice their opinion about these cases. If you have questions or would like to express concerns and cannot attend, you could also contact Mark Elmo about that. The BZA will be holding a review for the pet hospital is intending to expand and need a variance to satisfy our parking requirements. The building department welcomed a new company to Evendale. Excel Loading is a manufacturer of loading arms systems and components. The company is bringing their entire manufacturing operations to 2415 Glendale Milford Road. So our department's continuing to work with the company because there's some cleanup that has to occur in the existing building and prepare for a renovation. So welcome to Excel. Last month, the department issued 14 permits with an estimated construction cost of $218,000. Cultural arts. Last month, the department held an artist chat for celebrating legacy through art, a Black History Month artist chat with Bill Parrish on the 18th of February. That was well attended. I happen to have attended as well. It was really informative about the value of art, and he shared his journey to becoming an artist. He also happens to be a Princeton High School graduate who's currently working on establishing a cultural arts center for Glendale, and he acknowledged Susan Gordy, who's not here, for her efforts in helping him work along that role. The Evendale Fine Art exhibit deadlines are fast approaching for the exhibit in May. the early bird deadline has closed, so I don't know the exact deadline, but refer to the website for that. The Mart Art Venture is to the Cincinnati Fire Museum and Blinker's Tavern. 12 summer camps are being offered, and the information is online at our website. The rental programs are doing really well, and that's our report.
Any additions, corrections, or changes? I just have a couple of things. You may have noticed when you came in that the flag is at half-staff. It happens to be for a friend of mine, Senator Ted Gray, passed away. He was president of the Ohio Senate many years ago. He was 96 years old when he died. Delightful gentleman, great. He was interesting in that he would never vote to override the governor's veto, never. He was very proud of that. No matter how it was, how he voted originally, he was very proud of that. He's going to be laid out in the Senate rotunda, as all Senate presidents have the right to do, one time tomorrow at from 11 o'clock till 4 o'clock. He will lay in state. Kind of interesting to see the flag at half-mast and to know the person that's personally that it pertains to. The ICRC has continued to lose. The spectrum is down 3% and ultra-fiber is down 2%. As these continue to fall, their income continues to fall, and we just have to be prepared for that sometime in the future. Also, Ohio is going to have a sesquicentennial this year. It's a big deal, and we would like to participate in that in some way, shape, or form. Councilperson McDaniel has suggested that we have a committee to look for ways to honor the sesquicentennial, and so we're looking for volunteers for the members of the committee. If you're interested, the bicentennial, I was very involved in the bicentennial. If you remember, we painted barns with the motto on the side. We had the bells made by our friends at the Bell Company.
Verdon.
They had a platform that they brought out on a truck, and they cast a bell in every county in the state of Ohio. I happen to know the gentleman that's running the sesquicentennial campaign, and I dropped him a note, and I said, you know, it would be an interesting thing if at a certain day and a certain time, everybody rang their bell over the state of Ohio. It might be part of our celebration. And that's the extent of my report. Any questions?
I don't have questions. I did forget one thing in cultural arts. This weekend, the Center Stage Players production of the Ladies Foursome opens on March 15th at the Bell Arts Pavilion.
I was pointing to her.
Yeah, he's there.
Yes. Yes.
Excuse me, Chris, because you sent out the message about it, there was a really nice article in the Business Courier today about GE.
Yes.
GE is investing $650 million worldwide, of which roughly 100 is going to flow back to the region, of which 60 some odd million is going to flow back to the Evendale plant, about 10 or 12 million to Westchester. All in all, it is a great, it's a great driver for the region. You know, we've got to figure out, yes, it's our home and that's great and we're celebrating that, but this is a huge deal for Cincinnati and Southwest Ohio. So lots to celebrate on that front.
An estimated 1,000 new jobs.
Yep.
I commented on that in my newsletter, and I finished it by saying, aren't you glad you live in Evendale? Anything else? All right, let's go to our agenda. We'll begin with ordinance 24-07, and I need permission to read it by title only.
So moved?
Second.
Mr. Berg?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Daniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Patterson?
Yes.
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to promote Kara Brown to the full-time administrative assistant for the fire department from the current part-time position and declaring it as an emergency. May I have a motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Putoff.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Mr. Burke.
Yes.
Mr. Patterson.
Yes.
May I have a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burke.
Yes.
Mr. Patterson.
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Mr. Putoff.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Putoff.
Yes.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Mr. Burke.
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Patterson.
Yes.
I now declare ordinance 24-07 adopted as an emergency. Next is ordinance 24-08. I need permission to read it by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burke.
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Patterson.
Yes.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Mr. Putoff.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Ordinance modifying the provisions of the codified ordinances of the Village of Evendale relating to the fire code, automatic sprinklers, fire alarms, and ventilation equipment, and declaring it as an emergency. This will be the first reading, and we will carry this over till next month. Next, we have ordinance 24-09. I'd like to have permission to read it by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burke.
Yes.
Mr. Putoff.
Yes.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Patterson.
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing the payment of amounts due upon certain contracts requiring certification of the availability of funds and declaring it as an emergency. I need a motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Mr. Patterson.
Yes.
Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Burke.
Yes.
Mr. Putoff.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Putoff.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Mr. Burke.
Yes.
Mr. Patterson.
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burke.
Yes.
Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Patterson.
Yes.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Putoff.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Now declare ordinance 24-09 adopted as an emergency. We are going to go into executive session, and I need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burke.
Wait a minute. Chief has,
Can I say something before you go into
Sure.
session? I don't know how long you'll be in session.
we may be a while.
So, on behalf of the fire department and myself, I truly want to thank each and every member of council and the mayor. You've done a lot for the department in the last several years. It's very much appreciated by all the members. We're very grateful. You know, the department went 12 years with a part-time administrative assistant after having a full-time one for 30 years. So this is a great help to us and brings us a lot of stability at that point. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for that.
Well, it goes without saying, we're thankful for all the effort you're putting in, so it's a fair trade.
Appreciate it.
And the commitment to find a good person.
Mr. Burke moves that we go into executive session for the purpose of Ohio Revised Code 121.22, parentheses G, close parentheses, open parentheses 2, close parentheses, to consider the purchase of property for public purposes, the sale of property at competitive bidding, or sale or other disposition of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit for use property, and Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22, parentheses G, close parentheses, open parentheses 8, close parentheses, to consider confidential information related to the marketing plan's specific business strategies, production techniques, trade secrets, or personal finance statements of the applicants for the economic development assistance. Right?
Right.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Burke.
Yes.
Mr. Patterson.
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel. Yes. Mr. Putoff.
Yes.
Executive session.